me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy life. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You that chop line and a resort to cry. You can't fool me again. What people do eat no money, what they at you, eat no at you. Covid money, miss away in the your little rat you. Use the youth, the money, waste a must a man to statue. Say me like a cash, but bigger than a figure you. Take the spit of money, girl, and say that it's not you. On the head, the man above end up, him a got a bet. Too much it in the kitchen, some a fly by like a patu. My singers and DJs and social media's coming at you. It burn me 300% raise. It burn me garbage pile of the day. It burn me give the teacher them raise. It burn me I see corruption face. It burn me mash down the people them house. It burn me every day appear arms out. It burn me appear money them a thief. It burn me and them a sell out the beach. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You that chop line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again. For me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The already promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, they rap and they down in our fever. Member bold money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell. It burn me. Or they treat the market man. It burn me. Or them a treat the cat man. It burn me. Or they treat the peanut man. It burn me. Or them a treat the dirt man. It burn me. How them a treat the soul man. It burn me. How them a treat policeman. It burn me. How them a treat soldier man. It burn me. How them a treat everyone. Can't fool me again. You can't.
Stibby-dim day, stibby-dim day, stibby-dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no keep. And some informer friend we lovely. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona thief. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on a cheek, come here represent for we in Global TV. Check it.
Good evening and welcome to the People's Point of View. Thank you for joining us. I don't know if I did have no glitch pan phone aside, but for quite a good while, I couldn't hear myself. I couldn't hear anything from the program on my side. So if there was any glitch, I do apologize. Good evening, all, and welcome. Good evening to my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers and subscribers, commenters, dead live watchers. Good evening, all, and welcome. Debbie White, Yvonne Riley, Debbie Jervis, Patricia Matthews, Valerie Godfrey Favor, Natalia Freeman, Loris Beckford, Sunshine, Dorothy Elliott, John Pugh E.M., Lennis Reed, Pamela McNeil, Sharon Bernard, Nifty Friend Cynthia B., Miranda Roddick, Elaine Turner, Violet Dury, Jamaican Foodie, Michelle Lewis Wilson, Andrea Joan Bailey, Carlene Richards, Renice Nicholson, Mary Messenger TV, Noreen Dennison, Tony Tall, Dolores Logan Tash, Annie, Sheena Kelly, Abina Sarkodi, Violet Watson, Cousin Myrna, how are you? Good evening. Good evening, all, and welcome. Thank you all for joining us. Does anyone remember Beverly Forbes during Calamity Junction with the back and forth between Trenton and I, Marcia Gale? I threatened Dr. Dawes on this program a few times, never really carried out any much action against him. But I don't know if any of you remember. Late last year to early this year, I don't remember the exact date, Annie Jones, I asked Dr. Dawes, were you poisoned? And if you were, was it politically motivated? Does anyone remember Global Television asking Dr. Alfred Dawes that question with regards to him being poisoned? Me don't know if you don't remember, but because I was the one who asked the question, and I'm sure there's people out there in Wonderland remember me asking, and I'm sure Dr. Dawes also remember me asking him that question. Abina said yes, Grace Linton. I also believe I asked Dr. Dawes the question via WhatsApp, Joan Dawkins, which he did not answer. Thank God there's vindication on that question. Dr. Dawes finally answered the question. But we will get into that. We will get into that. Call Mark Golden and tell him, said, draw a chair tonight. Call the People's National Party and tell them, draw chair tonight. Like everybody else, we have questions for them. Millicent Jones, we have further questions for Dr. Dawes. Noreen Dennison. But expert from the Bustamante Children's Hospital, Vernal Henry, is warning parents to be extra vigilant with poisonous substance because it is a regular or becoming more of a regular occurrence with children going to the hospital with issue of poisoning, mainly to do with chemicals. They gave some statistic, but I know I'm not good with number. But the common source of household poisoning are bleach, degreases and dangerous detergents, hair relaxers and acetone. I don't know what that be. Annie Jones. Kerosene, caustic soda, and pesticide. Number of parents refer to social workers, to social work department for Bustamante Children's Hospital. In 2019, there was 172 children, parent referred Yvonne Johnson to social service. 2020, it moved up to 190. Andrea. In 2021, it moved up to 203. 2022, there was a bit of drop back down to 176. And 2023, it took a bit of rise again back up to 190 parents who were referred to social services at Bustamante Children's Hospital. I'm sure Bustamante Children's Hospital wouldn't be the only hospital that have statistics on this issue. That I'm not aware of, Elaine, I would have to do investigation on that. So the doctors have provided some tips for parents. Diana Atkinson, how are you? Is a chemical to soak off false nail and chemical polish. Okay, thanks, Abena. Carlene Jones, how are you? So some tips here. Supervise children at all times. And what that means, Jamaican parent, even when them asleep, they must be within your eyesight. You must also check that they are breathing properly. Wake or sleep, they must be within your eyesight at all times. That's what supervising your children at all times means. It no means that because the child in a house asleep, you for run a backyard or gone over ground there so gonna pick few peas. That's not what supervising children at all time means. It means an appropriate adult eyes must be on that child at all time, awake or asleep. Do not store chemical in food-like area, in food-like container. That means chemical must be in their own recognizable container. You mustn't store chemical in something that previously held food and is commonly known on first sight that it is a food container and it would contain edibles in it. Store chemical in children-proof container. You know those container where have the clips or the proof clip where you have to press down and turn, or they have a secure tighten lock on them. Do not inappropriately mix chemical and use them in the presence of children. Means say, Adeline Little, you don't fi mix bleach and other chemical together and I use them in the presence of children. No mixing of chemicals. Use them individually upon them own as guidelines suggested on the container. Lock all poisoning out of reach of children. So when you have such chemicals, if they are in a cupboard reachable by children, then the cupboard must be a locked one. Do not, they say, refer to medicine or vitamin as candy to children. Why do you think so? Because children tend to love candy and them like a sweetie thing there. And if you tell them and them believe it, them are going to use it as candy if them see it. So therefore, you don't misguide them by telling them when you want them to take it. Say this is candy. And look more then go love candy. And in a medicine chest, I drink candy. You understand? So them something there. Them must say, one must but the supervising children at all time is very, very important. Very important. Jamaica still have a statue. Thing wrong with them in Canada, America, still have it called the Child Endangerment Act. Meaning you can be prosecuted for just simple placing a child in danger. So you ought to be aware of those. But let us listen to Dr. Alfred Dawes' explanation. Then we ask them a series of questions.
Since I came into politics just over a year ago, there have been personal attacks, there have been economic attacks, where my business partners were advised not to do business with me. I lost contracts. I had permits held up until they said, Dawes, we have to let you go. And then the permits were approved. I have listened to bloggers drag my name in the dirt. I have listened to lies being spun about me. And I have had to learn, as Kennard said, you have to have alligator skin in this politics thing. But I look at it as a process. I really never wanted to share why, but I believe you all need to know the battles that I have been fighting silently. A year ago, I was invited to a meeting, and I had gone with a member of my team, a female comrade, to accompany me to that meeting. Said it was a private meeting, so she waited outside. I went and met one-on-one with someone. We're there for about an hour. And then when we're leaving, he went and spoke to someone at another table. And then he came. By that time, my friend had said that she had ordered some food. And he came and we said, no, leave it, I'm late, I have to leave. And he said, no man, wait for the food. And don't worry, I'll pay for it. We got the food, and I was dropping out. She said, my MP, you don't eat from morning, better you eat it. Dropped her home. I was eating the food, my throat started to tighten up. And I couldn't breathe properly. And I called some friends in the police and the university hospital, and I ended up at the university hospital that night. The next morning, reporters kept calling, and they kept asking about the woman who was rushed to the hospital. Because the plan was never for me to eat that food, it was for her to eat that food, and they were hoping that I would be rushing a dead female to the hospital, and the scandal that ensued would destroy my name. And then the police, every time I spoke to senior members of the police, reporters would be calling with the same information I gave the police. So I knew this was not a plot from Southeast. This is something bigger. And I purposefully kept this from the leadership of the party and everyone, my family in particular. But I think you ought to know that there's a group of people who will not stop, even if it means murder of an innocent. Not to destroy me, but they need to destroy my name. And that is what I've been up against. When the results came back, I'm a fit man, I exercise, I ride. Oh, and by the way, I heard my counterpart, Dr. Tufton, was in an accident. I reached out, I expressed my sympathies and hope he gets a speedy recovery. When the results came back at UE, it showed that I had liver and kidney damage. By that time, I had gone to SAB because I was feeling better. And I repeated the blood test there. It showed the liver and kidney damage, but it was improving. And that cemented everything that I was poisoned.
Well, if Dr. Daw's story is true, thank you for clearing up my query that I made months ago as to whether you were poisoned, and if you were poisoned, were you politically motivated? But it was said, though, Dr. Dawes, the reason why you kept it quiet at the time is because the female that you were out with, it is said, was a side chick, and you do not want the story to get in your wife's ears, so that's why you kept that quiet. Based on what you said, Dr. Dawes, you would be saying to us that it's bigger than the war between you and Alric. Isn't that what you're saying? It is a bigger war than you and Alric. Mr. Gleaner report said, men rob MoneyGram outlet in Portmore, and one of the men in a custody. It's a bigger war, Dr. Dawes, than you and Oral, or Alric, rather. Who then? Is it the private sector? Is it the wider People's National Party? Is it the resistant movement? Because I knew they were going after you. The resistant movement was going after you at one point, Dr. Dawes. How big is this? Why now, though? Why you're coming out with this now that the situation between you and Alric, or whatever him name, has escalated in public? Look like face-off out for over Portmore in the PNP camp. Is this the time for division, Mark Golden? Can the People's National Party, at this point, with just over a year away from a general election, survive a bitter infighting? Isn't it time, Mark Golden, Dayton Campbell, to draw a line under the infighting in the People's National Party and bring the different fraction of the People's National Party together? Or is it that there is one-upmanship in the Rise United movement of the party, the Dayton, Golden, and Bunting's camp? Is it a purging, Mark Golden, of those who do not support the Rise agenda? And can the Rise movement alone, Mark Golden, carries the People's National Party through? Hmm? Them like the way you refer to Kevin, they knew of the poison as well. Margaret Joan Bailey, Kevin Fairclough, Andrea, Noreen Dennison, Pamela Acola, Prudence Elliott, Ransford McLean, Cynthia B., Darren Robinson, Bernal Henry. Good evening, all, and welcome. Thank you for joining. Can the People's National Party survive such a bitter division? Can the People's National Party at this point, Flo M., Lenford Wilson, survive a bitter division? Is it the right time, Adeline Little, for the PNP to be engaging in catfight amongst themselves? Can the People's National Party go forward with the risers without uniting the broken People's National Party? Great Domestic, Martha Cooper in Foundation, Ron Williams, Denise Hall. Does Mark Golden see this? Does Mark Golden and Dayton Campbell see this as an issue that they must address expeditiously? Or could this be a threat to their electability and their political credibility come next year general election? The issue, though, that seemed to be causing this Ferrari is the issue of our dirty, patriarchal, man alone rule, man dominate politics. Darren Daly. And that causes the problem because of how the power that the central executive and both parties operate. This fight that you see going on between Oral and Alfred is a fight that goes on both sides of the coin. If you remember Freedom, Debbie White. If you remember just before the local government election, there was such a catfight between Darrell Vaz, Claudette Edwards, and one of his counselors, Stephen Williams, something which he took the central exec and others to court over, Sean. Maverick lied. The way people are enforced upon us is one of which is causing some of these problems, where the people of the community desired a particular political representative, but the way the executive of the party is structured and the power that the Secretary General of both parties has is a part of this problem, where they sent the executive of the party and the Gen Set and the power of the Gen Set chooses who they want to give a particular seat or a particular division to. So this is an issue where we also need to deal with in our politics. The people who are elected and enforced upon us, that are called representative. Even though we may vote for them, it's not who we chose as a people to elect, to represent us. They're rather selected. They're rather selected and given to us to vote for. Sometimes it's not all about qualification, because you have a whole heap of qualified MPs in there who just now do the job or we don't know the job. Politics is about getting the job done for the people. Whole heap of them were in there with the fancy debate, still not doing anything in their communities. So therefore, the persons who are on the ground with the people, the persons who get things done within the constituency, the ward or division or whatever you may call them. Sometimes it's not these fancy, qualified, university-educated people that are needed in our politics. We see a whole heap of them that we just don't serve with at all. Sometimes are the people. Ricardo, how are you? Freedom. Done it. Sometimes are the people them will have the willpower. Sometimes are the people them will have the willpower to get the job done, and it darkens. Need to be really in representational politics rather than be there because you have a university degree and a big job and a contacts. We have a parliament full of them there. We are the sodal for the people. So sometimes those who actually on the ground with the people, care about the people, and do the work for the people, such as my man that we are going to run for South Chilan. What his name again? Paul Patmore. As to what the people in the community, Martha Cooperlin Foundation, as to what the people in the community are saying about him. Sometimes these nice educated people did it for 4 and 8 years and they don't do anything. So it's really not about qualification, because we don't see where the qualification we will earn out of the how much qualified, university qualified one, whether they're without common sense. Real black woman, good morning. Good night. Real black woman coming there. Ivan Johnson said Alric is a deputy minister, so him have passed. I'll post already. I don't think if June come 26, somebody have the political experience on the ground, Lauren Taylor, they should be necessarily pushed aside for somebody who have academic qualification and experience and be better, more suited in debating in Parliament. Paula Graham. I don't think that's how it always should be, because history no proves say the bright people them, the lawyer them were in there, the doctor them were in there, the business people them were in there, the whole of them with the hope of university accolades were in there. What them do? Talk truth. What them do? Look how when Portia did dead amongst the rest of the man them, everybody berate Portia. Say because Portia dons and Portia this and Portia that. But when you put Portia in any ministry amongst these educated men, she do better than them, did she not? Allow me to tell. So sometimes it's not all about the academically qualified people, because if you understand academically qualified people, more times they do not have common sense. Kevin, how are you? Nobody never said Portia Ricardo Campbell as no well-educated, standout, professional person. No, them always refer to her as the dunce one. But as the dunce one, she has always performed better than the bright one them. So the fact that Dr. Da's bright and him a doctor and him have university, this and that, over Alric, when I may be all that educated, no means say Dr. Dawes they have the first choice or Dr. Dawes is the better choice. To poor Dr. Dawes, Roe Washington, how are you? To poor Dr. Dawes is a scraper, like the rest of them who just come there for scrape. To poor Dr. Dawes been funding them for a long time, and them a give Dr. Dawes a seat for run because of funding Corinne Griffith, not necessarily that Dr. Dawes, Cheryl Benjamin care about come do the people work. Him just a come back, come work back him funding money where him a fund it. Because a lot of people get seat if you don't understand how them thing work. So my problem to Mark Golden is this infighting necessary? Is it helpful? Will it cause disintegration in the People's National Party? Will this cause the People's National Party to lose a seat at the general election, Mark Golden? And if or when on a farm government in a 2025, Mark Golden, will this be the infighting we expect in governance? AAB, how are you? Will we expect a cat fight over who get what position? Angela 4349. If I believe him and his crony, August up the PMP, he met a damn mistake. I will be voting for Mr. Dawes. Point blank and period. I think they are troublemakers. I don't know much about the two of them, other than I know who is funding Dr. Dawes. Isn't it, Dr. Dawes? I know who is behind you financially. Pretty flowers. Dr. Dawes now come over here, so you see. Dr. Daz like to go to places like Partner Jar where people have secret for him and can use the secret for say come sit down and interview with me. But to me face them we check them with them secret. Them now come here so. Them ready to lap up with who are record them and I distribute it. But me, the whole of them, whenever I record none of them or whenever I talk to none of them yet. Me, them not trust. But Dr. Daz knows I may have a whole heap on him though. But this is a problem that needs fixing, Mark Golden. This is a problem that needs fixing. Me and Daz have one another mobile number. I ask him many times. I'm not saying Daz a hypocrite. Alfred Daz a hypocrite, let me tell you now. It is alleged that Alric in-laws are labor right. That is time the party has to endorse Stewart. Gary Gordon. So are you all saying that Alric may switch floor if Alric was to run and win the seat? Alric may switch parties. Antonio, how you doing, bro? Gary Gordon said they already fixed it. What have they already fixed? Gary, because there's a new flare-up. Office bun down. Dr. Daza start talk strong. Dr. Daza come out now and admit to the poisoning that I have been questioning him about for months. So what have they fixed? Help to tell me Alric is a wagonist, Claudette says. What have they fixed? If this current flare-up is in public. But it really don't look good for the morale of the People's National Party, because what we now going to do out here is sit and turn a blind eye like it's not happening. I'm going to speak to Dr. Dawes funder to see if Dr. Dawes would come over here for an interview. But trust me, I doubt it. We'll speak to one of his funder though. Minister of Health need a well-versed doctor to deal with the situation of ministry. That may be true. Is Dr. Dawes the only doctor in the People's National Party though? Is he the only medical doctor? Dayton Campbell is a medical doctor. He's also going up for a seat as well. What other medical doctor is at the People's National Party who would understand how to run the ministry? Dr. Dawes is not the only doctor in the People's National Party that could head up the Ministry of Health if elected. KD Knight and the party leader went there and had a meeting with the comrades, Gary says. Dr. Dawes is a real doctor. He would be good for Ministry of Health. I understand that, Patricia, but is he the only doctor in Ministry of Health? If Dr. Dawes not gets elected, Dr. Dawes can become the chief medical officer in the Ministry of Health, a more hands-on operational job than being the regulator, the Minister of Health, you know. So there's a lot of things that he could do in the Ministry of Health I would like you to interview him. All right, Pretty Flowers, I'll try. Me will ask him, but me guarantee him now got answer. James, how you doing? Me I got ask him, but me can guarantee you Daz not gonna answer me. Because Daz don't say me not ask question when me and him may talk over before the interview. Me I go just ask him what me want to feel like ask him say. So me don't know, but me will ask him or me will ask one of his sponsors or funders or donors, however you want to call them. Kevin Simito, how are you? Please come off Dr. Dawes. He's a good doctor. He's a good doctor, Kevin. Is he a good politician? That is the question. Good doctor does not equal to good politician, Kevin. And also, David Webster, why are you being disrespectful to Dr. Dawes? How am I being disrespectful to Dr. Dawes? Or why do you think I should have respect for Dr. Dawes and not for Andrew Holness? Aren't they both human? Aren't they both politicians? And I said, don't think I should have respect for members of the People's National Party that I shouldn't have for members of the Jamaica Labour Party. I treat all of them the same. They're politicians. Dr. Dawes hear me talking wouldn't be surprised based on private back and forth we may have. So I wouldn't be surprised of anything we may say. Or you wouldn't be surprised of anything that I'm saying. Are you saying because I call Dr. Dawes a hypocrite, that's disrespectful? How you know that I don't know that Dr. Dawes is a hypocrite? Or do you think Dr. Dawes would be annoyed that I call him a hypocrite? I doubt it. Our wife is a labor right. She and their sister work for Andrew Wheatley. Them around the canteen at Bellevue Hospital. Or the deputy mayor. He must stay there and help the party. Him have a job already. As to the party them go you. Remember we have people who run for the councillor and then run for the MP and step down and have a by-election. And so politics go. Politics is a game. As for politics, the politics is a game and you have to understand the game that is being played. This is why most of the time as people we get played out of it because we simply don't even understand the selection process of the people we voted for, how we end up voting for them. While that may be true, Pretty Flowers, how would that demonstrate that he's a good politician? I'm not going against Dr. Dawes, don't get that twisted. I'm not going against Dr. Dawes. Doesn't mean, though, I mustn't question. How do we know Dr. Dawes is a good politician? Because he's a good doctor, he's well qualified, and he works all over the world. Does that make Dr. Dawes a good politician? Are those good criteria for politics? Yes. But is there any proof that Dr. Dawes is a good politician? Is there any proof that Dr. Dawes won't get there and come like the rest of them are Wasara? Doesn't mean that Dr. Dawes is above scrutiny. Doesn't mean that Dr. Dawes is above questioning. So Dr. Dawes or any member of the People's National Party that deserve questioning or scrutiny over here is going to commander it and commander it rigorously, just like any member of the Jamaica Labour Party, just like armchair political vlogger Joseph Pattison. I'm not friends of any of them. Laurie Gordon, how are you? I'm not friends of any of them, so I can call them out, I can question them. Under free speech, I can disrespect or insult them if I want. Free speech, protect that. What it doesn't protect me to do is to spread hatred and malicious gossip against them. But I can question them, I can call them out, I can insult them, I can embarrass them. Free speech allows that. Burns Bernard, how are you? Kate M. I'm not saying we shouldn't give him a chance to prove himself, Claude, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't question people's motive. Remember, the same way everybody there has to give Andrew a chance to prove himself. Look upon what we did today. The same way everybody did like young, pretty Andrew. Look upon what we did today. And them something there. We love them and cuddle them and hug them up and turn a blind eye to them too much. Me a question them. Me no care if them like the questioning or not. Me a question them and me a call them out whenever time. Both of them walk under the same umbrella, father and son. Who you talk, Kevin? So, it no means because Dawes educated, Dawes professional, Dawes fit the role. No means we no fit question Dawes. Suppose Dawes come turn Andrew Holness span way. And the same way the whole away, they love up and rub up and lard up Andrew Holness. Look how what Andrew Holness turn power. So when you hear me a question, Dawes, don't believe that Dawes is above anything over here. If you don't know who Alfred Dawes is, like what me know, then shit up on a damn self here. So don't tell me not to question. Me I go question. Me I go question. I am going to question. And if I know something and I want to talk it, I'd go talk it. I don't dare to protect nobody. Me now go freedom. Me now go unnecessarily attack Alfred Dawes. How are you, bros? Me now go unnecessarily attack him, but it no means me now go question him. And Dawes no say anything me attack, me now tell lie. Me know people will support him. They feel offended or annoyed by my utterance. I don't think Dr. Dawes would. Medals to follow. I follow much. We hear nothing but pain, Excuse me, when me never like Andrew from day one. And if them never like Andrew from day one, sound like you are holding back. We want you to question him. But if you know something, say something. The can afford. The people can afford not to know. No, if something is not relevant to the scenario or the situation, I will let it be. As some people say, he deserves a chance to prove himself. But if given him that seat may bring the People's National Party into turmoil, or the People's National Party may end up losing a seat because of that, I rather lose off the educated man than gamble with a dots and find prosperity. But at the same place, we end up with Andrew, isn't it, Ron? And at the same place, we end up with Andrew. So, me not go attack him unnecessarily, but it no means him above questioning. You know what I mean? Or what we know about that is not really relevant to him political career. At the moment, some personal issues can remain personal, but if all him do just don't come in a crowd, come slip up. That's all him do. Just don't come in a crowd, come slip up. Question mark Golden too. Let him say something about the Samawat deal. Now, you see this whole Samawat deal galangin. If this current government accepts the deal, then any government come after will have to continue with the implementation of the deal. So Mark Golden would be bound by what this government, by whatever deal or treaty this government enter into with any other international organization. But of course, so the truth is to ask Mark Golden, given the choice, if you were the current government, would you accept it and sign that deal, Mark Golden? That is a question for you to answer, knowing that you'll be bound by what is signed by this current government. But if you were the current government, Mark Golden, would you have agreed to that funding? Would you have accepted it? Would you have signed Jamaica up to international organization that changes our cultural and our heritage? In England, you can't use he, she, him, her. You have to use they, their, them. I don't know why they don't add uno to it. But in England, especially in the education system, in the whole professional malarkey, so them hold something there, and that way Andrew sign a come to Jamaica where the she, him, her, Ransford Simmet, the she, him, her, and all of them something there, cut out and replaced by they, them, theirs. I don't know why them not add honor to it. Bro, I grew up as a PNP, and I personally think you have all right to call them out, whosoever they are, PNP or JLP. Time to get rid of die-hearted business. Thank you, Ransford Simmet. That a lot of Jamaicans don't understand, say, this die-hardism and this ignorance of policies, the ignorance of the game of how politics operate, the ignorance of how you become a pawn in the game of politics between the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party, then maybe them would not play with it so long that for 70 years them have promised to road, light and water, and we still see we're going backwards with these bright people, because some are only depend on Dr. Da's brightness. Look how much bright people we have there. What have they done in the last 60, 70 years. Look how much doctor and lawyer come there. What them do? So nothing one hour go, they're going to make an almighty load of difference. Dr. Dawes seems quite sociable when I met him, unlike PM, who was always arrogant even before becoming prime minister. I never hear you question anybody like, hold on. I never hear you question anybody like how you are questioning Dr. Dawes. What do you mean about that, Kevin Smith? Kevin, what do you mean by that? You never hear me question nobody the way me question Dr. Dawes. I provoke you are must labor right, and I provoke me to ask Dr. Dawes some question tonight, Kevin. You are must labor right. Why not you say that? You are must labor right, and you push me. Fi talk what me know and say what me know, because me don't know what you say. Me a question Dr. Dawes different from how me would a question any other politician. Even Bradford, how you do? How me would a question any politician over here, Kevin? So you must provoke me if you provoke Dr. Dawes tonight. I must that you do. When it sound like you're promoting Dunce Affair. No, sir. Look how much you lie and doctor over JLP. Look how much dunce over there. Ask yourself that question, Evan Green. Look how much lie and doctor over JLP. Look how much dunce over there. Look how much bright liar and doctor we have in the PNP over the years. Look how much corruption and stealing going over there. Education, qualification, I don't see as a political criteria these days. Yes, you need to have a level of education so you can read and understand and do a level of arithmetic. But politics and these illustrious university degree don't synchronize. It really doesn't. If you examine, put it this way, Wayne, none can't worse like JFP. All of them corrupt. I mean, we said the same thing about PNP as well when all of them did it. All of them seem to corrupt and protect that level of corruption. JLP had them badman and them gangsters attached to them. PNP have them gangster and them badman attached to them. Wasn't it Mama P who said to them people down at St. Mary or whatever, oh no, do make me left here in the corner. No, if me left here and come back, who may I come back with? The shenanigans of our politics is not unique to one side. The shenanigans of our politics is not unique to one side. The two of them play with as pawn in a them game. The two of them are friends. The two of them laugh and talk when you see them done have them buffle and them fruffle in a parliament. When the whole of them have the illustrious banquet, or the whole of them sit down and eat and drink and dine and wine together, rub crutches together, many of them, and ungo fool we turn up out here and quarrel over them while them a laugh after whole heap of uno, die hardest. Uno die hardest. And uno get the laugh after. Uno will keep them in power when I ask them no question. Uno will then describe as the fool. Uno will then not concerned about after they get uno vote on election day. Dan Fox, how are you? Tony Duncan. So don't come tell me, say me a question Dr. Dawes, unlike how me ever question anybody else. I'm not even going hard on Dr. Dawes. Dr. Dawes now I can go hard on him. Don't think that because I call out the government more or hold the government to account, that the People's National Party or members of the People's National Party are safe from questioning and scrutiny on this platform. If that is your belief, you're in the wrong place. If you're supporting this platform to think this platform is political party aligned, it is not. You have the wrong concept. Brittany L. This platform is about Jamaica. This platform is not about People's National Party or Jamaica Labour Party. It is about the people of Jamaica. It is about questioning politicians, calling them out, exposing them, whichever side of the coin they may be on. Nobody not safe, yes, my friend. So if you think this is a safe space for politicians, of either side, you are in the wrong territory. You are in the wrong territory if you think this platform is here to provide coverage. No, this platform is here to seek answers. This platform, Jamashli, is here to keep the people informed, in the know, aware. We're not here. We're not political vlogger. There's a difference between a political vlogger and a social justice activist. A political activist deal with their political ideology, their political party and political narrative. A social justice activist deals with justice and fairness for all. So don't mix up political activism and social justice activism together. They are two different things. Political activism is Chapajan and Karen Cross and Sunny Days them. Those are political activists. Me and Carlos, we are social justice activists. They are quite much different. Don't be confused by the word activists. O'Neill Gale. We do different things. Nobody know how cover yourself. Nobody. Nobody is covered here. So don't think I'm going after Dr. Dawes, or it's because I don't like Dr. Dawes, or it's because I'm a JLP supporter. I don't think I'm going after Andrew because I'm a Mark Golden supporter, or I'm a PMP supporter. No, I'm a Jamaica supporter. That's where it lies, with Jamaica, not with any political figure, nor with any political preference. My knowledge is above that. My tolerance, my reasoning ability, my understanding is above diehardism. Is way above diehardism. After reading law, economic, and political science for a year, you think we could have come out dunce like Jamaican politician, where the moment them get there, them want to become footstool for them, for use, on for climb and forget where them are go? Me could have entered politics to me educated and have enough idea like them. But would I turn corrupt in the political spheres like them? You might never know. Could Dr. Dawes become as corrupt, let us read, as those who him go they go see. It's a high possibility. Is it not? It is quite a high possibility. So Dr. Dawes must always be reminded that we are here, and how dare you slip up, Dr. Dawes, because if you slip up, we have a lot to ask. It's as simple as that. Dr. Dawes, if he was poisoned, then Dr. Dawes knows the territory he's walking into. So a few questions from a social justice activist or an independent journalist, Ladybug, shouldn't really shake Dr. Dawes, because Dr. Dawes would be fully aware of what he is walking into. Isn't it time we stop cover politicians and public figures? Have we not covered them enough? Have we not protected them enough to the detriment of our country? Have we not protected them enough to the detriment of the services they should have provided to us over the last 60, 70 years? We don't come off of the sleepwalking people and wake up and rise up and want something out of it for yourself too, and stop being continuous pawn in the game for JLP and PNP, while every political cycle, Gary Gordon, them come. Me play Dr. Dawes something when I said earlier, Gary. Every different election cycle, them come and them make one of the same promises all over again, because them know they just blatantly fool. Them blatantly know so they die hard enough to the door, on the door and hear what them say. Because on the know them on the die hard and stupid enough, we now go vote for them all if them turn up in front and a cuss on. Some man just enjoy being the pawn in the game. Some man enjoy the distress. One of the things that Andrew will make distress a kill on become a golden passport, make distress a kill on. It's what make our political figures survive. The dampness, the political dormantness, the political ignorance of our people. We just sit down so and fold their hand and say, no worry, my youth, we have your back. I feel this. Him don't have to go do nothing. Him really don't have to go do nothing. Because him never work to get there. Because him know it's a safe seat. The people them dull and the people them rigidly mind controlled by a certain political ideology. So therefore, me don't have to work hard for that seat. It's a safe seat. Them a go vote for me, and if me tell them, say me I go shoot them down in a Times Square or halfway tree, them still a go vote for me. That's how the thing work. Me play back the video for you, Freedom, as to his explanation. But his poison is something that I have been questioning publicly from late last year to early this year.
Since I came into politics just over a year ago, there have been personal attacks, there have been economic attacks, where my business partners were advised not to do business with me. I lost contracts. I had permits held up until they said, Dawes, we have to let you go. And then the permits were approved. I have listened to bloggers drag my name in the dirt. I have listened to lies being spun about me. And I have had to learn, as Kennard said, you have to have alligator skin in this politics thing. But I look at it as a process. I really never wanted to share why, but I believe you all need to know the battles that I have been fighting silently. A year ago, I was invited to a meeting, and I had gone with a member of my team, a female comrade, to accompany me to that meeting. Said it was a private meeting, so she waited outside. I went and met one-on-one with someone. We're there for about an hour. And then when we're leaving, he went and spoke to someone at another table. And then he came. By that time, my friend had said that she had ordered some food. And he came and we said, no, leave it, I'm late, I have to leave. And he said, no man, wait for the food. And don't worry, I'll pay for it. We got the food, and I was dropping out. She said, my MP, you don't eat for a morning, better you eat it. Dropped her home. And I was eating the food, my throat started to tighten up. And I couldn't breathe properly. And I called some friends in the police and the university hospital, and I ended up at the university hospital that night. The next morning, reporters kept calling, and they kept asking about the woman who was rushed to the hospital. Because the plan was never for me to eat that food, it was for her to eat that food, and they were hoping that I would be rushing a dead female to the hospital, and the scandal that ensued would destroy my name. And then the police, every time I spoke to senior members of the police, reporters would be calling with the same information I gave the police. So I knew this was not a plot from Southeast. This is something bigger. And I purposefully kept this from the leadership of the party and everyone, my family in particular. But I think you ought to know that there's a group of people who will not stop, even if it means murder of an innocent. Not to destroy me, but they need to destroy my name. And that is what I've been up against. When the results came back, I'm a fit man, I exercise, I ride. Oh, and by the way, I heard my counterpart, Dr. Tufton, was in an accident. I reached out, I expressed my sympathies and hope he gets a speedy recovery. When the results came back at UE, it showed that I had liver and kidney damage. By that time, I had gone to SAB because I was feeling better. And I repeated the blood test there. It showed the liver and kidney damage, but it was improving. And that cemented everything that I was poisoned.
So Dr. Dawes' argument suggests that there is a wider campaign against him than the campaign with him and what is it, South St. Catherine, or what you call it? It was said at the time, though, that the reason why Dr. Dawes kept the argument under hush-hush is because him go out with a side chick and him don't want the argument to get loose. So if his explanation is true, thank you for clearing up my query earlier this month, Dr. Dawes. But for those who think I'm attacking Dr. Alfred Dawes, this is in no way any attack. Anyone that surfaces in public life, especially in political life, then they must be prepared to lose a level of their privacy, their private life. They must also be prepared to be under scrutiny at all points. Good journalism decide that we turn up outside of them door just to ask them a question when them step out. Good journalism demand that we follow them and when them now look and hear and see we and have the camera turn upon them. Good journalism demand that there is no hiding place for none of them round here. So for those who think there is a hiding place for a politician, wrong corner, run back round to the mainstream vloggers. A lot of us social media vloggers out here, there is no hiding place down here. We'll rather to tell you to go and pick guitar, fill fruit jar, and be gay, even like Nigel Clark, because son of a guns, some of them is going to have big funds, and they buy a long time them a thief, and we're going to call them out anytime we feel like it. Thank you very much for being here with us tonight on The People's Point of View. Join us back here tomorrow when we will continue to scrutinize and probe our politicians. Good journalism is dead in Jamaica. The social media bloggers are doing a better job on them. Thank you all very much. Who said no Southeast? Jackson is South. Oh, Southeast. Sorry, bro. Southeast. So Dr. Dawes would be alluding based on his argument that his poisoning and the trial and tribulation where I go to inner pain since he enter politics is bigger than Southeast. It's a bigger conglomerate want to destroy his reputation. Is what Dr. Dawes is saying. You know what I mean? So there's a lot to question and watch as we go along. So thank you all for being here tonight. Join us tomorrow morning for The People's Point of View. If you have not yet liked the live, please do hit the like button before you exit the live. Thank you all very much, and we will definitely see you right back here tomorrow morning. Thank you, and good night from Global Television.